Doctor, would you agree that failing to recognize a hole in the bowel during abdominal surgery would be a violation from the basic standards of medical care? The defense attorney jumps up and yells out, "Objection! You can't ask that question as the first question in your deposition." You want to know what this is all about and whether I can or can't ask that question? Come join me for a moment as I share with you some great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney practicing law in the state of New York. As you can tell by the title, this is a medical malpractice matter. And now I have an opportunity to question the doctor that you have sued. And now I question him in his lawyer's office in a process known as a deposition. It's really a pretrial question and answer session that's given under oath. And there's a court stenographer present in order to record all of my questions and all of the answers that the doctor gives. And you should know that this pretrial testimony carries the same exact weight as if the doctor is testifying at trial. The only difference really is that there's no jury and there's no judge there, and this is taking place in the attorney's office. So now, as my very first question, I've now asked the doctor whether it is a violation, whether it's a departure from good and accepted medical practice to fail to recognize that he has made a hole in the patient's bowel during the course of abdominal surgery. And I want an answer. I know what the answer will be. I know what the doctor's going to say, but I have to have that answer. The attorney is objecting. He jumps up out of his seat and he yells out, "Objection! You can't ask that question." And you know what I say? I said, "Can you show me in the civil practice law and rules where it says I can't ask such a question as my very first question?" What the attorney has a problem with is he believes that I need to lay a foundation first to establish a number of things before I ask this blockbuster question. And what he's trying to get me to do, he wants me to go ahead and lay some basic questions first, lay a foundation like a bricklayer does. For example, "Doctor, isn't it true that on January 1st you were going to perform surgery on my client?" "Yes." "And you were going to perform a hysterectomy, isn't that true?" "Yes." "And in fact, you did perform a hysterectomy on my client on that day, isn't that true?" "Yes." "And you did that surgery at this hospital, isn't that true?" "Yes." So now what have I done? I've laid the groundwork, the foundation, for now asking the next series of questions. So to get back to my original question, do I have to do that to lay a foundation? The answer is no, I don't. This is pretrial testimony. There's nothing anywhere that says I can't ask the key question in the entire case. "Doctor, isn't it true that failing to recognize a perforation, a hole in the patient's bowel during the course of this hysterectomy would in fact be a departure, a violation from the basic standards of medical care?" The doctor has to say yes. He has to. Otherwise, he's going to look so silly and stupid, because I can then use that information, that testimony against him later on at trial. So why do I share this quick information with you? I share it with you just to give you an insight and an understanding into what goes on in these medical malpractice cases here in New York. You know, I understand you're watching this video because you have questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, if your matter did happen here in New York and you're thinking about bringing a lawsuit, but you have questions that need answers first, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your questions. You know, this is something I do every single day, and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.